The branch and bound method is a variant of backtracking. It checks the solutions in between for the optimality so that we can avoid those solutions which are not optimal. Consider the 8 puzzle, which is a simplified version of the well known 15 puzzle invented by Sam Lloyd. The 8 puzzle consists of 8 tiles, numbered 1 through 8, arranged on a 3 into 3 board. 8 locations contain exactly one tile, the ninth location is empty. So, our goal is to solve the puzzle in the least number of moves, get all the tiles in the row major order, which is an optimization problem. We can use the state space tree to represent the board position that can be reached from the initial position. You can see that the root node have a blank tile in the second row, third column. So there are 3 possible movements for the initial position. Either you can move 6 upward, or you can move 3 rightward, or you can move 2 downward. So the children of the initial root node shows all these possible solutions. The children of all intermediate node represents the next movements possible from the node. If we use a breadth first search of the state space tree, that means we need to examine all the nodes possible. But our aim is to examine few alternative moves as possible. In order to achieve this goal, we will examine those nodes which have a lesser number of tile moves, which are needed to solve the puzzle. So in order to get the lesser number of tile moves, we are going to use the Manhattan distance, which is defined as absolute value of x1 minus x2 plus y1 minus y2. From this position to reach the middle position, you need 4 tile movements. You can see that all the values represents the tile movements required to reach the middle position. In order to find out the lower bound on the number of moves, we are using the Manhattan distance of each tile's current position to its correct position. So the depth of the node actually indicates the number made so far. Adding these two values gives the lower bound on the number of moves needed for any solution. So we will always move towards those direction which gives us the smallest value of this function, which is what we call a best first search. So how are we going to determine the number of moves? Here you can see that the tile 2 needs one movement to get into its correct position. You can see that to move 3 to the correct position, it needs around 2 movements. 5 needs 1 movement and the tile 6 needs just 1 movement. So for this position, the total number of moves needed are 5. So now when you see this state space tree, the initial root node has got the lower bound 5. So from the initial position, there are 3 movements possible in the level 1. You can see that the first child and the second child has a lower bound value of 5 movements and the third one has got a value of 7. So if we elaborate the first node, you can see that the two solutions have 7 movements each. When you look into the middle child node, you can see that there are 4 possible movements, out of which the third one has got the lower bound 5. So we are choosing that partial solution to move forward, and finally you reach the solution choosing the lower bounds in each depth. In the worst case, we need to explore all the nodes based on the lower bound function. That means we have to explore all the nodes, and hence we need to do a breadth first search. So the worst case time complexity is theta of b raised to k, where b is the branching factor and k is the depth. So we need to develop a parallel algorithm for branch and bound. We can use a multi-computer or a distributed multiprocessor. But the conflicting goal here is we want to maximize the the local references rather when compared to non-local memory references. And we want to ensure the processes are searching a worthwhile portions of the state space tree. So just to maintain a single priority queue is not a good idea because the communication overhead is too much. So we will make the decision that each process must maintain its own priority queue of these unexamined subproblems. Then each process retrieves those subproblem with the lowest bound and continue the search. Occasionally, these processes send the unexamined subproblems to others too, which are kept idle right now. At the initial stage, the process 0 keeps the root node. So at that time, no other process have no work. So when you compare with the sequential branch and bound algorithm and the parallel algorithm, you can see that in sequential algorithm, only those nodes who have the lowest bound are examined. But in parallel algorithm, each local process will examine its local best. So there may be a possibility of examining unnecessary nodes. So, and again, there is a communication overhead of exchanging these sub problems in between. So when you compare a backtracking problem and a branch and bound problem, in backtracking, we simply search for any solution. But in branch and bound, we are looking for an optimal solution.